Now I'd like to talk about what you need to do once you actually go live. This is a big question. People push that blue button and they're going, yikes, I'm live, now what do I do? So there's actually a formula that I want to share with you that will give you a nice structure. And this, it doesn't matter whether this is a lead magnet part of your funnel or whether this is the webinar part of your funnel or any other kind of live video that you make. There's a formula for using live video as a medium that will help you carry on more of a conversation with the people who you're talking to. So that, first of all, it's not just a broadcast and you're not just talking at them, and that there'll be this way that they'll be engaged with you from start to finish. So this formula is something that I'm giving you guys as a handout, and it looks like this. And I'm just going to go through each of these steps in the formula. There are 8 of them in all. So the very first thing that you need to do is grab their attention. In the very early part of your video, if they've actually clicked on play and they're actually there watching, your first goal is to convince them that this is a video that they should watch all the way through to the end. So at the beginning, you need to say something about, well, what is this video about? Why are they here? And why does it matter to them? And this is the most important thing you can do in the first 10, 15, up to 30 seconds of your video, is basically sell people on watching the video and so that they're like, okay, this is worth my time, I'm going to watch this. And at the same time, you want to make a promise to them, which is, if you watch this video, this is what's going to happen. And usually that promise comes in the form of a benefit. So you're going to say, we're going to talk about this thing and it's going to give you this particular benefit. And that's the reason why they'll want to stay. And then all wrapped up with that, you want to give a call to action. And the reason that you want to do it here at the beginning is because, honestly, most of the people watching your video won't be there all the way until the end. And so if you want them to hear your call to action, don't only have a call to action at the very end of the video, also do it at the beginning. So very quickly you're saying, hey guys, really good to see you. Here's what I'm going to talk about today. Here's the promise I'm going to make, that if you listen to me, you're going to get this benefit. And if you want to work with me or do more or sign up or get my free thing, go here to get it. And do all of that in 30 seconds, in 1 minute, like right at the start. And that's a very good way to start pretty much every live video that you make. Another thing to do to fit in here is to do something that is very personable. Remember that you're talking to people and you're wanting to have a conversation with them. Now, a lot of people, when they try and be personable, what they do is they look at the screen that's saying, oh, this person's live and this person's live, and they're going, hey Billy, hey Joey, hi Barbara, hi Sarah. And no, that's not that great in terms of, it's really not that interesting, and all you're doing is calling out people's names. What you want to do is share something with them that is sort of both about them and about you. So, this works great around any type of holiday, like if it's Father's Day or Mother's Day, you can shout out to all the mothers in the audience. Or anything that's sort of current and going on that is top of mind, you can shout out about that. If there's something going on for you that you think is sort of universal that other people could, tune into, shout out about that. And do, something kind of like you do when you walk into your working space and you're working with your coworkers and you start interacting with them in a way that's kind of shared conversation. You want to do that same kind of thing at the beginning of your video so people get an idea that you are a real person and you're not all about your content, and certainly you're not all about trying to sell them something. Because remember, this is live. It's live medium, and there are going to be people watching you live in the moment. And so you want to relate to them in a very relatable way. So all of this that I just mentioned, the grab their attention, make a promise, and do your initial call to action, this is all going to happen within the first minute to minute and a half of your video, including whatever you had to share around being personable and sort of what's in the moment and what's going on for you. So then the next step is you want to ask them to share your video. And this is really important. I mean, the reason that you're using live video and you're using Facebook, and if you're using Facebook live video for part of your funnel, is to use it to try and build your audience. And so when there are people watching, even if they're watching during the replay, they have the capability of helping you extend your reach. And it's really easy for them. All they have to do is share the video. So if you give them why they should be staying to watch your video, and why it's important to them, and why it matters to them, and why it will be good for them, and what benefit they're going to get, and then you can suggest, say, hey, you know, I bet you've got a friend who could also use this benefit, and if you want to invite them in, that would be awesome. Just hit the share button, and they'll get this video too. That's a really good secondary call to action to have there, just to ask them to share your video, and do it right there just before you dive into your content. Then you want to do what I call solve the problem. You've made a promise of, you know, offering some solution to some problem that your audience has, and now for the next 5 to 15 minutes, you're going to offer them a set of, you know, tips or suggestions, maybe 3 to 5 suggestions on how to go forward in solving this problem. And this should be really good, valuable content. And that time frame, you know, you want to think of your video overall, like how much time should I spend doing a Facebook Live? And I believe that the answer is somewhere akin to what a TED Talk looks like. So for instance, a TED Talk is typically 18 minutes, and that's the time frame that they have on it. And your Facebook Live should be around the same length. It doesn't have to be exactly 18 minutes, but anywhere like 15 to 20 minutes is kind of a good range to shoot for. And the reason for that is that when you go live on Facebook, Facebook takes time to start sending out notifications to all the people who are your followers. And it does take some time to do that. So those, you know, that goes out and people get notified, and some of the ones who are notified or happen to be on Facebook at the time, and they'll respond by starting to tune in. And so after like 5 minutes or so into your video, you may start seeing more people appearing as live viewers. The other thing that happens is that as people share your video, again, this reach goes out, other people are notified. So the more engagement you have of people liking your video and commenting on your video, and especially sharing your video, the more you're going to see this organic reach happens. And this all takes some time. So if you only go live for like 3 minutes, you're going to miss out on this organic reach that can happen in the moment, like of actually attracting live viewers. That just takes more time to happen. So your content wants to be a little bit lengthy, definitely longer than what the standard is on doing a video on YouTube, which typically is like 2 to 3 minutes. So you can talk and actually have the room to breathe for your content and really start, you know, solving some real problems for people. So after you've given your main part of your content, the 3 tips that you wanted to share, then you want to move on to asking people to share the video again. And it's like, hey, you know, if you thought this was valuable, I bet you know some other people who would appreciate this value, and you can share it with them. And that kind of suggestion will get people to hit that share button and get you some more organic reach. Then after that, asking them to share, give your other final call to action, whatever that may be. This could be something different, it could be something stronger, but just say, hey, thanks for tuning in, and if you'd like, you know, I just told you the formula of going live on Facebook, and if you'd like my PDF download, go to my website, and you can go to the page where I'm going to send you right now and get my lead magnet, you know, and you can do this as your final call to action. Just remember that if you really want people to, you know, follow through on your lead magnet, make sure that you give that call to action back at the beginning. right at the start, because otherwise they may not actually see it. And another good thing to have is you can actually have that same call to action written in the title description of your video at the top, so that people see the title of the video and they see that call to action written out, and they actually have the URL to go to right in the description of the video. And that way, even if they don't watch the video, they can still hit that link up there and get into your lead magnet. Then the last thing, the very ending thing that you do with your live video, is you cap it off with a final thought. And this could be anything you want. It could be related to the content. It could be just part of the theme of like who you are and what you want to offer to people on a regular basis. It could be some standard closing that you do, like see you in the next video or whatever you want to do there. But just cap it off with some kind of closing statement that signifies that this is the end. And some people get to the end and they go, oh, well, let's see, I guess that's all I have to say now, so goodbye. And do something a little bit more pronounced at the end so that it's a really nice closing. And best thing is you can have something written down or a quote that you want to share that's inspiring, that people can go off remembering. And this is the kind of thing like you can make people walk away, like literally walk out of the theater remembering and saying something that you told them if you do something really profound at the end. And say, the most important thing that I want you guys to take away today from this video is this. And for me it would be, make sure that at the end of your video you say something really profound. That would be the thing I would like you to take away today. So that's the Facebook formula. This PDF is available as part of a bonus in the training, so there's a link for this. And these are the steps that you want to take. So we'll recap. Grab their attention, make a promise, give them a call to action all right at the start, and then ask them to share your video. And this will all help you get more people to come in live. Then go ahead and give your content, solve the problem that you're here to solve that day. As soon as you've done that, that's 5 or 15 minutes later, ask them to share the video again, give another call to action right at the end, and then give them a final thought. And that is your entire Facebook Live formula.